Hi, welcome to this steering subsystem session. Steering subsystem is part of chassis system. We are going to discuss the principle of working of steering subsystem. The understanding of working of steering subsystem is must in order to diagnose the steering subsystem. Let us discuss the functionality of steering subsystem first. The steering subsystem designed to convert the rotational of steering wheel force into swirling movement of road wheels. So it is meant for conversion of rotation force of steering wheel into swirling movement of road wheels. That is rotational force to linear force to rotate the road wheels. This conversion is carried out such a way the steering wheel rim turns in a long way that is converted into a movement of road wheel at a short way. From the figure, you can understand the parts of the steering wheel system. The steering wheel system consists of a steering wheel where the operator driver are using to rotate the wheel. Then we have steering gearbox. In this, the rotational force is converted into linear force by means of gearbox arrangement and associated arms fitting. So we have Pitman arm fitting that is connecting your steering gearbox to the track rod. So this is a track rod that is track rod is used to connect the tie rod. The tie rod is actually connecting the track rod to the wheel, the road wheel. So this track rod is converting or conducting the force, linear force, to the rotating road wheel through the tie rod, right? So whenever this person is rotating the steering wheel, the rotational force is converted into linear force using the steering gearbox. That linear force is conducted appropriately to the road wheels through this pitman arm and tie rods and track rods. Types of steering. The steering system is categorized into two types. System is consists of a steering column which is actually connected to the steering wheel and a pinion system. The pinion system is nothing but a small gear wheel which is called as pinion system that is housed inside the assembly of column. This pinion teeth is meshing with another straight row teeth rack. The rack is consist of again the number of teeth. It is straight rack. So whenever the steering wheel is rotated, the pinion actually producing a rotational force in the mesh of a rack, linear rack. So this rotational force is converted into linear force through this mechanical assembly. So whenever the pinion rotates, then it in turn by messing with the rack, it is moving the linear straight row teeth rack. So this is linear movement. So this is how the rotational force is converted into linear movement. So turning the pinion makes the rack move from side to side, and the end of the racks are coupled to the road wheels by track rods. So this linear or straight row of rack is connected to track rods, right? The second type of steering system is steering box system, which is given in the figure here. So under the system, at the base of steering column, there is a worm gear inside the box. The worm is threaded cylinder like short bolt. So you can assume that turning a bolt that holds a nut on it, this assembly is such that the nut would move along the bolts whenever we are turning the bolt. The same way, turning the worm moves the anything fitted on its thread. Here we have fitted another rotational teeth which is connected to the track rod. So here whenever this worm is rotated, it is rotating another rotating teeth, which in turn rotates or moves the track rod. Power assisted steering system. On a heavy car or big trucks, either the steering is very heavy or it is inconvenient to make rotation with the low geared system. The geared system, whatever we discuss, is low geared one. It make inconvenient and it is very heavy to rotate, especially when you are having heavy cars and heavy vehicles. So such a inconvenient system require many turns from lock to lock. Heavy gearing can be very troublesome when parking in confined spaces. When you are trying to park in confined spaces, this heavy gearing is creating troubles. To avoid the problem of this low geared or heavy uh, steering, we can use power assisted steering system. So, what is power assisted steering system? How it works? Under power assisted steering system, some hydraulic power or force is assisted with the manual force of steering wheel such a way very quickly and smoothly the steering can be done. With less effort, we can turn the wheel with the help of this power assisted steering system. So the extra power we are adding in the steering system in order to make smooth steering with less effort. This extra power is given from the hydraulic piston subsystem. So how it works? The engine drives a pump that supply oil under high pressure to the rack or steering bars. So you can see that there is a fluid reservoir and there is a pump. The engine, when it is running, when your steering action is done, it will activate the power steering pump. Then the pump will pump up the fluid from the reservoir to the hydraulic piston subsystem, which is connected to the rack and gear subsystem of the steering. So when the person steering, the pump up the fluids from the reservoir to the hydraulic systems. You can see the pump is giving the fluids to the hydraulic systems. This hydraulic systems produces some external forces with the help of the piston subsystems. So valves in the steering rack or box open whenever the driver turns the wheel, allowing oil into the cylinder. So oil from the reservoir to the cylinder is moved whenever the steering wheel is rotated. The oil works on a piston system and help push the steering wheel in appropriate direction. So this oil pushed from the reservoir to the piston subsystem produces some extra forces that is helping to move the steering subsystem smoothly with less effort. As soon as the driver stops turning the wheel, the valve shuts and close. That means it closes and pushing action of piston stops. So this is how power assisted steering system is working.